Hey, welcome back to this side of the studio for a mini PGL. It's been a weird day. It's been a long day for everyone. So yeah, we're taking it on this side with Broxah and Elyoya joining me. Elyoya, how are you doing? You had a long day too.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long day, but...
How does it feel to play so late? It never happens for you guys.
I mean, I think it benefits Mad Lions. We have, like, our schedule is a bit too much of gamer, I think. We go to sleep a bit late, so it benefited us, and we just took advantage of the situation. This was part of the plan.
Part of the plan, yeah, the whole way. Actually, I'm going to blame the delays on you. And you, Broxah, back on broadcast, having like a 12-hour broadcast day. How does it feel?
Well, I gotta admit, I'm not the typical pro gamer. Most pro gamers like Elyoya, like Mad Lions, like to stay up half of the night gaming, usually. I'm a morning person, so it's been a long day, but it's also been a lot of fun.
This one is going to hurt in the morning. But yeah, thanks again for joining me for this small PGL. Elyoya, how was the game against Fnatic? Bouncing back from the weird shenanigans that happened against Rogue last week. But yeah, tell me about the game.
Yeah, weird shenanigans. That's a good way to call it. I mean, I think this game was... I don't remember much. I think I'm maybe too tired, but I think it was, we had it a bit, at the beginning we gave up the first blood, and from that point I think we were doing some good plays. I think on the Rift we semi-won the game at that point because we were outscaling their comp pretty fast, but then we had some oopsie moments, especially me. I think I should have used my ulti a bit before, but apart from that I think we had a solid game, and yeah, I think it was a fine game overall.
It's funny because you said there were some oopsie moments, and there were, but it's like when you look from the outside, it was a pretty dominant victory. It's not like Fnatic honestly ever really had a chance. It was a pretty dominant one.
Yeah, I think like we maintained the lead and we were playing for objectives. I just think we could have played faster and we were not aggressive enough with the lead we had. We also outscaled them, so we chose to go for a less risk playstyle. But yeah, I think we missed some opportunities, and yeah, also we misplayed some fights. I'm gonna say we. Do not say I, but yeah.
It's a team game.
Respectable.
I'll take the responsibility. It's normal. But on Fnatic's side, though, I'm wondering, because Broxah, it feels like since the beginning of summer, when they click together so well, but it doesn't happen so much. What do we make of Fnatic as of now?
Well, it's really interesting, right? Because it just seems like, we actually talked about it earlier too, it kind of seems like Fnatic is a team who they just all want to carry, and they need someone to like be the support, be the facilitator who can set everyone else up for success. And if you have 5 playmakers, it can be a little bit hard for things to actually function. And I think even Mad Lions has been a pretty good example so far, where they brought in Niski, who now is a facilitator who can make life a little easier for someone like Elyoya, for Kaiser, and all of a sudden they just look like a completely different team because they have that missing piece.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I mean, Niski has been the main character for Mad Lions for over a week now. We're talking about the impact that he can have. But I know that especially as a jungle mid-duo, it's super important. And it feels like in spring, you had a lot of responsibility in terms of communication and how to lead the team. Does he help on that sense? Like, do you feel like you have less weight off your shoulders now that he came in? For
sure I do. I think Niski brings a lot to the team, not only inside the game, but he brings a lot outside the game. Like he's... Okay, maybe this is not the word, but everyone will understand. He's a bit of a clown. So
in the good sense. Yeah.
In the good sense, yeah, of course. So it helps a lot to have a really good environment and like to have a really good relationship with everyone. So he's doing a lot for the team that people don't even see, and also inside the game he's playing really well. So I think he's a really good fit for the team.
You say clown. I'm going to rephrase a bit in the sense that I think it's super important to have someone who's going to be like a light spirit and who's going to bring the team up and cheer them up. Broxah, this is not something that should be underestimated, the impact that a positive player can have for the rest of the group.
No, for sure, and especially after like a rough game or a defeat, like having someone who's just always positive, funny, a bit of a comedian in a way, it just helps, you know, everyone get back on track after tough days.
And now when you think of Mad Lions, you've been doing so well, honestly, since the past 2 weeks. One game that we won't talk about, but that's
Which
just an
game?
oopsie.
Like, I don't remember.
Right. I mean, you don't remember. But would you say that you're back as the Mad Lions you were when you guys won the LEC 2 years ago? Or is it getting there at least?
Yeah, I don't think we are at that point yet, but I think we are going at a good phase, and I think we can be a way better version of what we were. And I think if we keep working like we have high chances of making it worse, yeah.
Mac told me that you're going to win the split, so yeah, high praise on that
Okay,
sense.
man. It's his call, it's his call.
What do you think is the biggest thing that you guys need to work on right now to get to that point?
I think the biggest thing is communication, laning phase jungle. No, I think it's... I think right now we should focus on playing on 2 lanes more. I think our openings on mid-game in lanes is not the most optimal. I think we are opening on 3 lanes too much, and that gives enemy some opportunity to up tempo and punish us. And I think this game they had some opportunities which I think they did not take good enough, and they could have punished us. And I think that's this kind of mistakes that we don't usually do in the scrims as much, but in official games it's happening a lot to us. I mean, not a lot, but it's happening, so we should fix it.
So mostly like lane setups and mid-late game, macro,
Yeah.
Still the beginning of the season on a new patch that changed a lot, so it's going to take time, I think, for teams to get used to it. And in that sense, let's take the standings, because no team is undefeated anymore. One team is still looking for their first win. Of course, it's Misfits, bottom 10 right now. But Yoya, when you look at the standings right now, is there anything that surprises you? For a start, seeing Astralis and Excel on top, I think is new.
I mean, yeah. I think Astralis got benefited from the schedule. I think they had a quite acceptable schedule, but still, I think a 3-1 is really solid start. And I'm happy to see them doing good. I think they are. I like that team, and I think it's an upgrade from last split. Sorry. And Excel, it's not something that surprised me that much, because from what we have screamed them, I think they looked really strong, and I expected it that they would be a good team. So yeah, the standings, I think the one that surprised me the most was Misfits, which, I mean, they are not clicking right now, or they're just not finding themselves, and yeah, I think that's the biggest surprise of the LEC for me.
A bit sad for them for now, but Broxah, on these standings, I feel like Excel is becoming one of the strongest teams in the LEC.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting for me.
Yeah.
So last time I was here, we were talking about Excel being in playoffs and how they were starting to look pretty solid, but they still had a lot of work to do to actually be able to compete. And now they're being viewed as one of the best teams in the league in this current moment. And it's pretty clear that they've changed their play style pretty drastically in the off-season. They are playing so well as a team. They're roaming a lot. Pretty similar play styles to Mad Lions, actually, in some ways. And I think they've just found a really good recipe that's working for them.
I know that it's super early to talk about this, but Yoya, do you think that the level in the LEC improved compared to spring?
I think it did. I think it for sure did. I think in spring, actually, the level was not as high, and I think for this summer split, the level is gonna be pretty, I mean, way better. I think Excel, as you guys mentioned, they are playing really well, especially, I mean, I think Marcon and Mickey, even Patrick are having really, really good performances. And I'm hoping to see if more teams can upgrade their level and some can maintain. So we will have really interesting playoffs.
Any team you have your eyes on, Broxah?
Well, for me, Fnatic is always gonna be one that I'm looking at for obvious reasons. And now, looking at the standings, seeing them down on a shared fifth place is not something you expect from Fnatic. You expect to see them competing, right? So I'm excited to see if they can bounce back.
Everything can change. Again, it's just week 2. And let's take a look quickly at the schedule we're going to have tomorrow, because we'll open with SK Misfits. Mad, you will face Excel, actually, tomorrow. It's going to be an interesting game, I think.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good game. I think it will be decided a lot on how both... I mean, draft will impact a lot, and also how... I think junglers actually have the biggest stake on this game. I think Marcun and me are both will be the ones that will impact the game the most, and also support. I think support, jungle support, will decide this game actually. That's my take on this game.
I'm actually super curious about the Rogue and Astralis matchup, Broxah, given how Astralis has been performing so far, and it feels like Rogue is waking up finally.
Yeah, for sure. Like Yoya said, Astralis haven't had this hardest schedule of all time yet, but now they get a chance to really prove if they are here to compete, or if they've been a bit lucky perhaps so far. So I'm really looking forward to that game too.
And then, of course, match of the week to wrap up the day. Vitality versus G2. I don't know what to expect from this one, especially given the game we saw from G2 today. Any take on this, Yoya?
I agree. I thought G2 was looking really, really good the first week, but this previous game was a bit of a, G2 moment, I say.
Yeah.
It was a G2 moment, but I think if they play to what we expect from them, I think it's going to be a relatively easy win for G2. not like super easy, but I think they should be in control. And yeah, I think G2 should take this one.
Should take this one, but still feels like it's an improved version of Vitality. I feel like Haru is bringing much in the team cohesion, and I mean, from talking to them outside the game, I know that he has a lot of responsibility in the calmness that he can bring to the game and how he's guiding the team, but it's not there yet, I feel.
Yeah, it's like they're improved in some ways, but that's also something that's kind of missing a little bit, and I feel like G2 is just a more stable team. Like when you see G2, you kind of know what to expect. I think their main weakness has been draft a little bit. If you look at the loss today, the draft wasn't the greatest of all. For Vitality, I don't really know what I'm getting. I don't know what's going to happen, and maybe they're going to show up and they're just going to dominate G2. Maybe they're going to get stomped in 20 minutes. No one really knows because they've been so inconsistent ever since spring.
G2, you never know what to expect from them anyway, but that's a story for tomorrow. It's already super late. Elyoya, I don't want to hold you too long. You need to rest and be ready for Excel tomorrow. Broxah, thank you so much also for joining me on this mini PGL. And thank you everyone for sticking with us during this long night of LEC. Please get some rest, get some sleep, and we'll be back tomorrow for week 2, day 2 in just 15 hours. Have a good night, everyone. Take care.